Test, 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 test. That took like 5 years to start. What? YouTube is very choky today. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, we continue painting. Oh wait, this is... Alright, we do baseline cleanup first. I think there's some interesting thing that can be done with the edges. Something interesting can probably be done there, but I don't know what just yet. And how dark is this? Oh, okay, it's just... Oh, it's just a strap. What the hell is this? Alright. Ho ho ho. Merry Christmas. still? It's darker. I see. Okay. Right, I have no idea how this looks. What is it? It looks like a bike of some kind. It's not a bike? What is this thing? What in the world is that? Ignore it. Ho ho ho. Huge. Huge head. Holy shit. Oh, wrong way. Oh, excuse me. Oh no, my tablet is trying to DDoS me again. The great thing about this painterly style, I don't have to worry about my tablet losing control. It's not like I'm trying to do like a very precise line or shape or edge. Everything's a mess. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, tablet. Try again tomorrow. Not gonna DDoS me today. There's a bit of a tricky part here, I think, is because like how curved everything is, like technically everything should look a little bit weird. It should look a little bit distorted. Mine doesn't look distorted enough in some areas. It kind of messes you up when you look at it like this and you're like, oh, shit, why does it look so weird and distorted? So you fix it on the canvas, but it's supposed to be like that for the angle, for the what's this, fish eye? Like the outer side is more stretch for this guy than the inside is. Right? His legs are not aligned, Lamau. Yo, it's a distortion of the fisheye, guys. It's not me. What? That's great. What the hell, man? What is the lady carrying? Like a bag of balls? What is this? Oh, she's like one of those vendors, I think. She's selling shit. Is she selling shit? Yeah, it's not gonna be very good up here. It is what it is. Or is it? Should be a bit lighter. Slowly starting to Szechuan, starting to take shape. Not too bad. The process is decently comfortable once the colors are ready. And just kind of push things around here and there. It's pretty nice. I can see how this is gonna get like take a lot of time though. Like this is going to definitely take some time to really clean it up. Which I don't know if I have the patience for, but that's fine, right? I think like tackling some of the more complex stuff, slowly building up that patience, if you will. It does take a while to get more competent and be more patient and know what to expect and be comfortable with that progression, I think it is gonna take a while. The good thing is that we are kind of on our way with painting. Because previously it was not even considerable. It would be nice to know what kind of balls these are, like what these things are. What are these things? They're just color blobs right now, so I guess it's fine. It's not really changing anything. Where's my green? Get some green in here. Let's get some yellow in here. Let's do orange instead. I don't want too many different shades. I think it's still trying to keep the green, right? If we overdo this, it might get a little bit too colorful. And I think the big thing would be also definitely learning to work with, like, doing what's absolutely necessary first, and then everything else can come in later. Because otherwise you never finish this. I swear to God, this will never finish. Doing my best to prioritize what we need here. And keep it as simple as possible. I have to constantly come back and clean up and do this and that, but at least we know that we're only putting in effort that we need to put in. Nothing more than that. Oh, the back is gonna be... this is very trippy because it's so dark in the reference. I don't know how to... There's this, like, urge to try and make it fit what I'm seeing in the reference, but it's only gonna cause problems if I do that, so I can't do it. It's already tuned. I need to learn to stick to this while increasing the details. The values here. Oh man, where is this? Above the umbrella. Okay, yeah, it's a bit off to the side. That's fine. Just put it here. Yeah, maybe darker still. Yeah, it's probably good enough. Like, the foreground's gonna still be a mess by the end of it, I'm sure. Alright, let's do this corner of this guy. Okay. Let's see. It starts below the umbrella. Oh. Wait. Also liking markers quite a bit now, just because it doesn't require you to find that edge yet. You're kind of leaving it to your future self, but your future self has a higher chance of success just because there's more stuff on the board already. The proportions and everything is a bit more intact. Otherwise, right now it's a lot harder, I feel like. I don't know where things are. This one just lets us put in like random color blobs, and then we can see if it fits. It's pretty nice. Notch, very notch. Yeah, let's go. Let's make it a bit brighter here. Do want people to fade. Oh, we have to respect the darker values. Oh man, so weird. How big is he? Fisheye is making things feel very weird. I don't know where this guy is for some reason. He's got that Roblox build. What is this? Maybe a bit higher. And so I want to line it up, please. Let's get rid of this. Like, these legs are... And in the way, I just need the value here. Do it. Hello, George. Welcome, George. We are doing things. We are painting. Wow, look at that. Play the Among Us imposter music. Up to this point, I think we've spent like 1.5 hours last stream. Today is like one 40-minute, one singular 40-minute block. It's interesting because it is still very messy, right? But as you zoom out, it's slowly starting to like doesn't really matter anymore. It doesn't really matter that this part is like just a question mark. It's slowly coming together. And this is all thanks to the reference, honestly, like, because without this, like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Like, it's crazy, the amount of work required. Like, I'm just gonna put in a bunch of heads here. No way! No way! No way! Oh my god, is he serious? That's crazy, bro. Oh my god, that's crazy. Oh, hell no, man. What the hell, man? Alright, this part is kind of there. We have like the foreground people here. I'm gonna do the other side. Let's see. Oops. The fisheye is kind of messing me up. I kind of have to tilt the canvas to copy one for one. This is what I mean by, like, if we didn't have this, it would have been way too difficult. Like, 3D down the line, I think it's a must. There's no way that I'm going to, like, you know, if you learn all the fundamentals to be good enough to be able to do this in your head or something. I don't know how people do it. Oh, wait, my guy is so high up. Okay, hang on. All these entire group of people is in the wrong spot. That's kind of the problem with this workflow. You can't exactly move stuff very well because everything is split across like 5,000 layers of like adjustment, colors, and overlays and everything. You just have to repaint it. But yeah, I mean, this would have been impossible to do for sure, like just a couple of months ago, I imagine. It's way too hard. Like, you have to... I have to keep my nervousness on hold for the whole time about like whether it will work out or not. Like, that's really hard. It's always when I get burnt out, I feel like, where I stop caring, where we kind of make a bit of breakthrough because I stop caring. So I don't mind like just coming in and doing just like not having something really good. Like, Ria's proportions are kind of weird for her face, I think. For the head here somewhere, I still couldn't figure it out, but as long as I can accept that, I can just keep moving. And that helps a lot. Where are the shapes? Where are the shapes? I need to cut the silhouette. Indeed. We have to see this stabilized. I'm also not fully convinced about this workflow. This workflow is very nice in doing complex stuff like this because you don't fully commit to anything at all, right? I'm not fully committing to the comp. I'm not fully committing to... the colors are kind of stuck right now already, right? But you don't kind of like do a lot of upfront work and then just to have it fill in your face later. You just kind of come in and paint. If you have to adjust something, you adjust something. Yeah. But the downside is that the results of it is very unclean like this. But I think it's really good. Like, there's probably like a middle ground somewhere where you can do this to set up the colors. And then you go back to doing like clean line art. You go back to doing like very clean shapes. And then using this color as your actual painting. As like the colors you use. But now you have a better idea of everything, right? I imagine it would be something like that down the line. Also, I think this girl has to be a little bit further out. Ah, that's fine, dude. We don't have to follow 100% here. Because I still want something clean. I think like I want to spend some time on like the the furry Rhea, because that one has yet another different set of requirements. That one is also kind of like whatever, anything goes, right? I don't care about if Rhea is in character or not, this and that, I just kind of throw it out. But because it's character based, it's character focused, I don't have as much requirement to draw something like this with all the backgrounds and stuff. And maybe I can figure out a way to stylize some bigger shapes in. Just like the one we painted for like Faye that I have as my background. Does it work now? It stopped working now. Sometimes before it will load in during stream and after stream it will load out. I don't know what's going on, but now it stopped. Weird stuff. Anyways, George, I hope you're having a good day. Very cool. Oh man, these colors are... let's see here. Oh yeah, I got the update to the website done. So there is a set of stuff that I can push to live production servers that would allow us to... Hello, Deemer. It will allow me to consolidate all the Rhea fan art, commission art, as well as her references, and my own art, and everything would be in one spot. So for all the characters, I could just do that. And actually, my main website has no purpose anymore. I can just delete that. But I haven't pushed it to live yet, just because, yeah, I mean, I should just do it. I always sit on the damn thing and then not do anything. It's kind of stupid. But the reason why I didn't feel like a very strong need to do it is because I've always intended to finish everything. I need to decide on everything by myself, right? The only reason why I was entertaining trying to get some commissions was because I was too over committed into a bunch of different things. And I still am. It's not really changed, but I feel a little bit better. I realized that I think my sleep issue is again related to temperature. I sometimes can't tell if it's hot or cold. I will feel really hot and cold at the same time. Recently I figured out that it's probably because I was feeling cold. So maybe if I can get that in check, I can sleep a bit better. I just need to get my shit together and then we can be back on track. I'm always not on track, dude, I feel like. I ate for 2 days, George, and I didn't get good sleep for those 2 days. I think it's because of the temperature. But yeah, I don't know if I'll try again tonight, but I will try again for sure. I don't think the supplement itself has any issues. I think it's just me. But whether if it's placebo or not, I think I want to stabilize myself first. I'm hoping that it will be a little bit more effective, but I haven't really felt more relaxed. Hello, Wizard. No, it's good, George. I think it's probably fine. I think. Wizard, this is one of those processes where you rely on... I can briefly go over this, because I don't think you guys, anyone's seen the thing directly like this. So it starts off just like this, right? Just Rhea sketch. There's some colors already on it, but just ignore that, pretend it's like black. And then there is this. And this is just a sketch of this, the reference here. And you can see it's very rough. It barely even tracks a lot of the things. Like, a lot of the proportions are not the same. Yeah, they're just kind of roughly people in position. Then from here on out, it's just... Oh, I gotta lower the opacity of it. So, I actually did this kind of in order of the layers here. You guys can't really see this, I think. But... I don't know how I decided that I just want green. I guess the original kind of has a lot of green stuff. Like cyan, stuff like that. And then... okay, not quite in order, I think. I think this layer probably came in a little bit later. And then I just selected all the stuff. So you see how like the markers on this layer, right? there are all these white areas. The white areas are not drawn over at all. So I could select everything on this layer, and it will only select the stuff that I've drawn. And I inverted this selection. So I only have the brighter part selected. And then I put in the red stuff on this layer like that. And you can actually see that it affects some of the darker marker stuff too, because the marker itself has opacity settings on it. So even though it looks like it's drawn over, it is not like 100% opacity, right? So like this color still kind of goes in a bit. So it smooths out the effect a little bit. Otherwise it'd be pretty strong. And then from then on this layer itself, I just started adjusting color. So primarily I was just trying to get the front a bit darker, get the back a bit brighter, and then get Ria herself the most orange. And then I decided that overlay, like this is overlay layer. This layer and this color layer are both overlay layers. Overlay doesn't really put in some stronger colors if the base isn't dark enough. So I had to go on hard light and I push in her brown hair. And then from here on is another overlay layer where I just started putting in colors that I see. So I think this part was a bit of a challenge in the beginning because I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. Like how far should I bring the colors, right? But I just kind of looked at the stuff and I saw like this girl has a pink jacket. I had a bit of pink here. I see like some darker clothing, like some slightly brighter pants and this and that. I just try to push the colors a little bit while keeping in mind the cyan zone and then the red zone here. So that's kind of the base. And then for some of the more vibrant colors, I just go in and be like, yeah, so whatever, just put some of it. Because I've seen enough from like the other painters that if you have very saturated colors like this, yeah, as long as it's not too much, it's fine. Like it's not gonna change the whole vibe, right? You can kind of put it any way you want. Because I'm just guessing, because by looking at like some of the artists, I don't really see a pattern to the extra colors. So I'm assuming it's just random. So I just randomly put, and then this part I just try to lower the contrast a bit. Because I want to focus here. Anything onto the side, I need to pull it down a little bit. I wanted to put in some shadows here, so multiply layer with a little bit, but if it's too strong, it kind of takes away from the whole balance already. So it's a bit weird. I also had this stupid idea of putting in noise. You can see this noise layer on overlay. I wanted to put in noise and paint over it. Then like the areas that I painted over would be smooth, but the areas that I didn't touch would be rough, and I thought that might be interesting. And I think it still would be interesting, but the biggest problem is selecting colors. Because of the noise, you're selecting from like darker and slightly brighter pixels rather than the actual color that you perceive, that you feel, right? I feel this shade, but you're actually picking a darker and brighter one. So it kind of messes up your painting, so I had to turn it off. And then just slightly more colors. This is a normal layer because, again, some colors don't go in very well. And then from then on, it's just pure painting. So you just select a color, and then I just try to remove the noise. So if you look at like some of these areas, I have to come in and find the character, find the body part, find the shape, and then just leave it. Beyond that, you just kind of roughly get it, like, you don't have to be very tight. But that's kind of like the rough thing. Generally, like, the way it works is that the marker itself carried a lot of the values. So this marker carried a lot of the values. And then along with some of the adjustments like this airbrush here to really set in the mood. And then everything else is just kind of like whatever. Whatever that doesn't, sorry, whatever as in whatever that you kind of don't mess with the overall balance. I don't know, Wizard. Like the thing for me is that like I think somewhere in there, there's like inside of me, there is this like understanding. But I don't really know how to apply it consistently. And then like the only way that I even got here is because I kind of gave up. I kind of gave up thinking. Like you see me do usual streams, I think a lot about this and that, but I think it's very crippling sometimes because I cannot really see where the path is supposed to take me. But then if you kind of just let yourself go and paint a little bit, sometimes like I find something. I find this to be the case a few times now, I think including some of the earlier ones that we painted. It's just that if I let go like this, then the picture kind of has no meaning to me. Like there's no value to this painting to me. It's really just kind of like an exercise. Ria isn't doing anything, she's not dressed in a specific way and this and that. Anyway, like this, I don't know if you would call it pro, because it's not very controlled, in my opinion. A lot of this is just kind of whatever happens, happens. But that's not exactly, like, professional, I think. Professionals know what they want, and then they go in and they get it. I'm just kind of opening a blind box and seeing what I get, kind of, Sure, I suppose. I suppose technically, like, objectively, you could say that, like, I mean, but the composition is from the photo. The composition is from the photo, the colors are kind of from the photo. Okay, I suppose the colors are a little bit different. I took a lot of the cues from the photo. Yeah, but like ideas and meaning and this and that is kind of quite lacking, I think, in my opinion. Ideally, you have this kind of skill in your head, and then you kind of execute on a specific idea. Well, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is have you tried it? Like, as in, like, just try to photocopy the thing and give yourself as much time as you need, because it's not exactly as impressive as it looks, I think. At the end of the day, you are kind of just like looking and putting down the same thing that you see. You don't need to think too hard about why. You don't need to think too hard about certain ideas, you know, you just kind of copy and paste it. Yeah, because like it looks very crazy, right? But once you have some stuff on the canvas, like for example, if you look at a white canvas and then you compare to the reference, you're like, holy shit, that's like 10 bajillion people. But then once you have like so it starts off like this, right? This I think you can relate. And then this one only looks complicated now, but in the beginning it was just a square here and a square here and a square here and a square here. But once you have those squares, you can kind of roughly gauge how far the positions of the squares are, and you can put them roughly in the right spot. And then those big squares become like a top shirt and a bottom pants and 2 legs. So 4 squares. And then you just slowly work your way up. And then once you have the marker in this part, you will feel it. Like, you will slowly find it like easier and easier to do it, even though like the goal hasn't really changed, just because there's more stuff already done. So I wouldn't how do I say this? You should try it. Hang on, my music is trying to DDoS me. Stop. So exciting, the music. Yeah, I've been painting. We're just gonna try and refine this until we can... I don't know. I don't know what the goal is, honestly. I don't know what's a good stopping point, either. Sorry, figure it out. I kind of want to paint first, and then, like, some of these characters, like, for example, these borders, well, they're gonna be a lot cleaner, for one. But for two, I kind of want to do, like, some of the stuff that I've seen before. Like, for example, they would take, like, really bright, vibrant colors, and they would do this. And there's, like, no reason to doing this, right? It's not like there's any light hitting it. It's not like there's any reason for it to be emphasized. But it's just an edge. And I feel like if I put it enough of these all over the place, it will start to look a little bit more fancy and more polished. Because I've seen it quite a few times now, and I just don't really know, I didn't really have a chance to do it myself. Like, what color would I use here? I think, yeah, like cyan and green would be the most natural way of doing it. Like maybe here with the bike, I could do something a little bit bluer. Actually, no, should I do it on the stuff that doesn't have blue? Because then it makes it more interesting, no? But yeah, anyways, that's kind of the plan. And then, as you suggested, Wizard, I also kind of want to maybe try to incorporate a little bit more effects in. Because we do have, like, the ground here that is going to be kind of empty for the most part, right? I don't think it's necessarily a good idea to make it more noisy, just because it's a very crowded comp. But I was thinking maybe some kind of textures can go in on the ground. Definitely these guys. I think the studs for like the blind people, this has to be done like very tightly. If we can do this very tightly and very precisely, and all the circles are actually all circular in perspective, that would be kind of epic. It will be like, it will bring the polish up like a lot, along with these stupid lines. But we shall see. I think I'm gonna take this line out for now, because I like to have it on a different layer. But yeah, I think that's kind of the plan. I think we'll just try to go as far as we can. Like all the ideas that I've kind of seen over the streams, but I've never really had a chance to execute on, that I also remember. I'm sure I've forgotten a lot of things. I would like to try and give it a try and see if we can incorporate it somehow. It would be nice if we can. Also, you can kind of see some textures here. It's because of my sketching marker has some textures. I think that kind of helps a little bit with the whole effect as well. So that's something to keep in mind, I think, because it's like from some earlier like analysis we've done before as well. Like there are like some very clearly textures that were in there since the beginning, but they just kind of like still visible at the end because they kind of didn't cover it, you know, just because they didn't cover it, not because they added it explicitly necessarily. So it's pretty good, like, to have some of those. Anyways, I'm gonna come in now. Try and finish this side here. At least my policy has kind of been to just do 1.5 half stream on this thing and half stream on like my own nonsense with Furrivia. Because like Furrivia has like a bunch of sketches now. I feel like they're more expressive than all the usual versions of her for sure. And then if I can find a way to render those as well comfortably, it will be kind of powerful. I need a bit of red here. What should I use? This is too saturated, I think. It's too dirty. I'm gonna bring it down. Haven't I mentioned this before? I thought I said something like this, then I wanted to do it, and then I didn't do it. But hopefully we're clamping down on the style from two ends. One is the very painterly end, like what we're doing here, where we just paint and see what kind of stuff we like and don't like. The other end is the stylization, the very stylized cell shading end, where it's very clean and precise and clinical. And then as both sides sort of come together, we'll find this middle ground where everything looks balanced. Where we have the flexibility, as much flexibility as I can afford to have, with like some kind of painterly process, but with the precision of some kind of cell shading process. And I think that would be the stuff that I want. You know, again, we're trying to do things that I've already mentioned before, but I never really got to do it. I'm being stupid. That's a sideburn. His face is so squashed. Means I want to push this in a bit more, maybe. And then the ears after you. Oh man, the guys in the back are... Yeah, here, like, sometimes I have to explicitly make some decisions here, like the hair and the black area in the back is kind of like merged together in the photo, but I can't have that here because I want to see the separation a little bit better. So I'm gonna make this stuff, I'm gonna use this very saturated one in the back. Something slightly duller in the front here. It's not quite dark enough. Yeah, the front is not quite dark enough. No, but it's visible. I think it's good enough. Yeah, this lady as well. Okay. Okay, let me find the, like, these words are kind of in the way. But... okay, lady's face... Now the decision making also is not very clear. Like, there's clearly a lot of shadows on the faces and the skin. Like the leg color here and here is quite different, I feel like. Oh no, it's about the same, but I guess that's like a bright spot here. And as well as compared to this over here. But sometimes, like, yeah, like having everything on this table, I'm just looking at it and it feels like I shouldn't touch it anymore. But I don't know why. I don't know why that's how it feels like. Maybe it's just because of a contrast kind of thing. So let me rephrase. I think it's because of the contrast, for sure, right? Because there's more contrast, it's going to get too noisy and this and that. But what I don't know is that how you're supposed to plan for something like this. Are you supposed to plan for something like this? Like, do the pros plan for this? Or do the pros just kind of do it and then they find it as well, like by chance? Because I have heard about, like, you know, the journey being a discovery process. But at the same time, if you don't plan for things like this, like, it feels kind of out of your control, you know? Like, how do you know it's going to turn out right? But I suppose you just trust your skills or something? I don't know. Some things are... not very sure yet. It's too low. It is kind of low. This arm is kind of low. Hello? What is the bottom color? Oh, it's her. Wait, whose arms is where? Oh, that's the guy's arm being pulled, right? So, I cannot see it. Make it a bit more saturated here. A bit more orange. Okay. I need more separation here. It's impossible to see. The bags. Her legs are not here, and also her other arm. Color blood. Wait, her shoulder is visible. Oh. Maybe just a bit of shading here. Okay. Let's see. So I'm gonna make the back brighter, and then I'm gonna make her pants darker. So there's enough separation between the two still, but even though they're all white. Hopefully this is readable. That's my red. Give me some red. Music ended. I'm gonna go pee. I'll be right back. Yes, yes, yes. Where's my ref? Okay. What the? Things are not aligned here, but it is. Should I bother? I think it would be nice, but I kind of like the shades that are already here. If I have to move it, then. Hey, yeah, and also doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It looks the same. Okay, yeah, this is so much cleaner than this. Hello? Oh, okay. This is the first thing I started working on today. I guess I just didn't have the balls to clean it up as much because I was worried that I'll lose the lines because I kind of like the lines there. But it is very noisy. I guess you should get the picture. I think that's one thing that I should have done is that we should clean up Rhea first. Like Rhea should be the like close to at least like further along than this. But the problem with that is that like you kind of have to find like the folds and the shapes and stuff, and we do have reference for it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of scared to touch Rhea. Music's too loud again. Alright, let's see. Let's go. Let's do this. It's a bit too much. Where am I actually? Losing track. So this is here. This can be shifted out a bit. Something intermediate. Something brighter again. Here. This edge is actually the back. Could use with a bit more green, I think. Okay. I should probably use that a bit. Go in and find the line art later. Needs to be brighter. Good to grow. Slightly cleaner, perhaps. Just a little bit. It's surprisingly a lot faster than I expected. Because if we're just cleaning up like big shape like this, and we can already see the characters, right? Because most of the cleanup was done like today. And we're only like an hour plus in. If it's something like this, I can kind of accept, I think. Like, because the amount of work that we're putting in versus what we're getting out, I'm okay with this. We do have a lot of stuff left, and I don't know what we're gonna do with this dot thing. Usually we can kind of perspective it in, but like this has fisheye on it. Wait, is there a fisheye filter on here? There is a fisheye lens on this. Oh, but I don't know how to use it well, I think. But I guess we can just figure it out somehow. Okay. And yeah, this workflow still has some other issues, like the floor is... oh, I should have drawn the floor by itself, actually, now that I think about it. The marker, I already separate out the marker for Rhea and the other stuff. Then there's no reason why I couldn't have just done it for all the people and then separate out the ground. Because, like, you see the stripes on the ground? It's maybe kind of hard to see, like, there are these alternating stripes on the ground. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to get it in, especially with the curvature. Thing is, that's a learning point for sure, that part. Need more separation. Ah, shit. Okay, we need to... Let's start with these guys here, then continue this side. I think we got most of the stuff here. It's like one lady. But let's get the guard, because he has like interesting clothing. That I do want to make sure we... What is... it's Rhea's hair. Right. Skin color as it fades into the back. This lady kind of has skin color for the skin color. What? Seems a little bit strong. I should take this down. Use this guy's face. I want a little bit of orange. Actually, I forgot to check. Oh, it's... Okay, whatever it did. It's a bit stronger, actually. No, it's quite strong. I gotta check on my other monitor for colors the whole time. Alright, let me just desaturate it manually. And then... Here... Let's just do this for now. What's the next? Where's this? He's decently close. I think this is fun. Yeah. Also, like, if I had, like, this is another learning thing, but I think this is more of an experience thing rather than, like, something that I should really think about, because it's one of those things where if I start thinking about it, I'll just get overwhelmed again. But you see how, like, there's all these random strokes in there. It's left over from the original markers, right? So if your markers, if your initial sketch is already putting in a bunch of, like, for example, bows, accounting for some of the form, then your job here will be a lot simpler. Because some of it would have already been done, and you can just kind of keep it. And you overlay on top of it, and this and that, but... I think right now, if I try to do it explicitly, directly like that, I'd probably get overwhelmed. So I'm just gonna make a note of it here, but like, I'm not actually gonna try and remember it. Because it would just come with time as I sketch more, I think. Okay, what is behind here? There's like another lady. But I definitely do want a separation here. So we're gonna use this instead. And then it'll be even brighter for the back. Why is it so bright here? I think I just never painted this part. So I guess the thing to decide is it the ground that's brighter or is it the people that's brighter? Oh, I don't know. But I think the ground might be darker. Okay, maybe the guard goes in first. Let's do the guard first. I think this circle is meant to be the head. I cannot tell, dude. Okay, since the skin is pretty much just white at this point, I'm just gonna tone this down then. And then the hat can be maybe a little bit darker than that. It's a bit too outstanding here. Stick that. Yeah, this blue would be too strong, I think. Oh, it's the color. That. Yeah, should have been painted on a separate layer. Once again, more layers should have been used. Let's get rid of this part. I think this back part would be one of those, just do whatever, as long as the shapes stand out against each other. So if it needs to be darker character, darker ground, then it would just be that. Or it could be alternating, or it could be something else. As long as you can see the individual shapes, I think it would probably be good enough. Like the ground here is darker now. But the person is darker, and you can do a little bit more. What's going on here, dude? Oh, because there's more space here than there actually is. Well, it's whatever. Alright, what is this? It's a lady with a bag, right? Oh shit, but the skin and this thing. Skin is like white at this point. Skin cannot be white then, I guess. Or skin can be white, this cannot. Let's do it like this. That's just a bit too big. Oh, wait. Maybe it should have been monochromatic. Wait, hang on. Because I'm losing colors as I go to the back, right? So, I guess it goes far back enough. It's just about values now. So now I'm just thinking whether if the skin is darker than the... I mean, skin... I don't want the skin to be darker than the thing because it'll look weird because it'll be green. So I'd rather have a green shirt rather than a green skin here. And we'll keep the skin brighter. Even if that's not necessarily the case. And then we can have it like this. I have to say though, like this isn't something like if I go back in time and just meet my old self, this isn't something that I can just tell him to do. You kind of need to have a lot of, you need to get the shapes right, I think. I can see like a lot of the stuff that I did with the other sketching coming into play. Not necessarily in anything. Yeah, it's just really the vibe of it. I feel like it's, or I have to set the correct expectations. I think either one of those. Pop this here. Let's just do low at first. Let's get rid of this one. Let's do it like this. Okay, it might be a bit too out of place to do something this strong when everything else is like a bit softer. I think that's like fireworks or some shit again. God. Keep your lighting shit on fire. How nice. Nice presents. Yeah, no one did shit for Canada Day though. I was kind of surprised. Like usually they would light shit on fire and like fireworks and this and that, like the day before, right? As the clock strikes 12, and then like on Canada Day itself, they would do it again with all the other celebrations. No one did anything. Very underwhelming. Not that I really cared too much. Most of the time, like they would set it while we were streaming, right? Because anytime later, it would be a noise complaint. Anytime earlier, it wouldn't be dark enough. And so every time like that's something, if you remember like last year, I would go out to the window and it would be over. So I kind of gave up. It's 11. Usually at this point I swap over. Today we're kind of getting shit done, so maybe I'll continue for a bit longer. I do kind of want to start like a different account for like some of the furry stuff, because those have lower requirements, so it's easier to pump out. But fundamentally, they're different from what we're doing on stream and the main account, so I don't want to mix the two. It might be more of a more shitpost kind of thing. Oops. Yeah, fireworks, right? Yes, that thing's a lawsuit waiting to happen. I'd be too. Yeah, it's like I don't. Yeah, like I unnecessary risk. Definitely try one. A lot of responsibility. Well, you don't have to imagine, I suppose, but yeah, it would be fun. Fireworks and stuff. I haven't even played with a sparkler in like years and years and years. Would it be fun? Huh. Now that I think about it, I wonder how each of the characters will respond to like loud noises and like explosions and fireworks and stuff like that. It's not like they have PTSD, but they might, I suppose. Oh, rather I should say we could give them some. Wow, so interesting. Oh my god. You're so interesting. Yes, that moment. I would try a voice impression if this wasn't on stream. Actually, I don't even know his line. Actually, surprisingly sharp edge that you can get from this brush. I wonder if a lot of my concerns were just concerns because in the past I didn't have the brush control. Because you can get sharp edges if you just go over it multiple times, right? Like, so you just need to have consistent brush strokes. So I guess it's just a skill issue in the past. And then that caused me to kind of hate on... Oh, I mean, part of it is also because of how noisy it is. But noisy was because I was just putting it anywhere and everywhere and without a reason. And therefore it became very noisy. So really it's just like a skill issue then in the past. Once again, the brushes had nothing to do with it. It's a get good low thing. That sucks. We need to figure out this ground situation. I need to clean up some more. I would like to see how this part, because like painting in the front versus painting in the back is quite different. Ria needs cleanup herself, that's also true. But the bigger problem is what to do with the ground thingies. Just circles are not going to be enough, I think. It's my prediction, just because it's not just a circle in real life. So it's going to look a little bit off. I'm going to... Let's start by doing what we know. I'm going to start with the usual. What color should I... Let's just use black for now, because we can just swap it out, right? So... do something bigger. How far? It's like 1. It's like almost like 1 plus a little bit more. And then we just kind of do this for now. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need just 2 more pop up here. Okay. And then for a square, I guess a square would just mean 7 rows. That makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's no difference. And then again, because it's done like that, I'm going to... How do I rotate? Oh wait, I do it like this. I'm gonna do it like this just so that all the spacing between everything is the same. Not that it would matter, honestly. It's not really that big of a deal. Okay, this would be the master copy. Thereabouts. These are the parts where I ideally hope that not AI, a Blender would take care of this for us. Okay, I mean it's still not enough, I don't think. Still not long enough. But how should I do this, right? We could do them separately. But then it would mean that this joining of the two parts might be a little bit of a pain in the ass, because it's kind of hard to get two curves to intersect perfectly like that. Oh, not to mention you can't, because it's not a single line, right? It's like multiple lines. The spacing between them and the sizes of the individual studs are going to change with the perspective. So ideally we set this up on a flat surface like right now, and then we just do the transformation at one go somehow. That's how I'm feeling it. See if I can do something like that. Let's just start by doing this. Let's move it a little bit over. I don't need this much on this side. But it's probably better to have more rather than less though. More excess. Let's make this super long. Oops. Where is my... What? Well, I mean... Yeah, maybe I can spare a little bit more. And then we merge these, and then I'm going to... figure out how the fisheye thing works. So how do I do this? Maybe if I do it like this first. Oh my god. I also don't know if the fisheye effect affects stuff that's not within the active canvas here. Sometimes it doesn't, like some of these things. What is happening right now? Okay, let's make the distortion a little bit stronger. Actually, where is the center? It would be somewhere here. Wait, no. It's curving up, right? Dang, what if these two things are not 90 degrees? But I think they are. Radius is 100. What does this do? Didn't change anything. What? Oh, specify. Oh, I see. So it's not active right now. So this is the only way to get it to curve, but it doesn't go up though. What? Is it like here? I don't get it. I don't get where the perspective is. Because wouldn't the fisheye curvature from the curve from the center of the shot? That would make sense to me. So just this is not enough then. You need perspective. So maybe, okay, oh no, wait, that makes perfect sense, right? Because your camera is taking a photo of stuff in perspective already, and then the fisheye is applied on top of that. So just fisheye isn't gonna get us here. So we have to have perspective first. How do I do that? No, okay, wait, hang on. Let's get this down. No, actually this is the right size-ish. Maybe it should be bigger even. And then it's kind of like this. We need that side to be smaller. Right, so it's not the fisheye that's the problem, it's this part that is the problem. Because fisheye should just be in the center, since we are taking a photo like this. So now the problem is, how should this look like in perspective? The store center here. It's kind of got a taste for it, I think. Because that pushes it that way, right? The further I push this, the more this curves, but it's still not. So maybe I need to target a little bit higher up with the thing. Looking at the ground, right? So if we're looking at the ground, Ria is the most flat part of the canvas, because she's in the center of the fisheye, so that's the least distortion here. So we should use her perspective as the main perspective guide. So that would put it like here-ish, where the actual perspective points are like off canvas before the fisheye push them in, I think. But then if I put it this high and the lens is like right here, wouldn't it push it up? No, that's not right. Right, so it has to be below this point. Needs to be smaller, needs to be lower. Right, judging by how this part curves and that part curves. This is curving this way, like, whoops. Because this is going this way here. That's going that way. The fisheye would push things out from the center and making things round. Which means that it must be between these two curves. It must be somewhere here. And If her standing here, it would have to be behind her, right? Because even if it curves it, if this is behind Ria's foot, it's going to be behind her foot. I can put it behind her, and same for this. It would have to be right next to this. So it would have looked something like this, I guess. This should be how it's supposed to look, I think. And then the curvature being put here pushes this part out and causes these parts to kind of curve in a little bit. Does it curve in? It's whatever. Let's see. Let's see. Something like that. And we fisheye this. I tried this before already. Why doesn't it work? Based on the way the stud's connected, it should be a 90-degree angle right here. Can I apply this as a layer? Wait, hang on. I don't think this works as a... Because if it does, you know, I can just toggle it on and off, but it's an immediate render. Forgetting where it is. What does this do? Oh, it's just a... okay. There's no point in using this. Wait, what about the shape? What? I don't understand it. We probably need like a grid just to see what it's doing, but... yeah, it's not looking like I can just kind of get it. Okay. So if I cannot do this, what can I do? Right? Like, do I go in and paint everything? I mean, I guess that is one option. It's like doing leak code. There's always a brute force solution. Yeah, sure, I suppose. I mean, like, we've come this far because we could. And then we would just, like, wait for actual 3D Blender learning, etc. to actually do it the lazy way. Or rather, I should say the very precise way. I don't think Blender would necessarily be lazy, but... Hello, show. Granny got hit by a bazooka. Are you talking about this lady here? Oh, are you talking about like a demo man? Oh, you're talking about the George's comment. I was like, what? Demo man wearing the demo pants. Very cool. What is it a meme? How do you do, fellow kids? I know memes. I play Roblox. I'm a kid. Guys, don't mess with me. My dad is the CEO of Roblox. Wait. Hang on. Rest in peace, Granny. Oh, it's like a song. Wow, okay, I would not have guessed that it was a song, dude. Yeah, okay, never in a million years. Maybe in a million years, I would have guessed. No way, dude. A song, dude. Not a meme, dude. Not like someone's like my English is very good. That's because that's my native language. I'm not Japanese. I'm just LARPing as a Japanese person. Also, hello. Nashao Hamid 7403. I'm just LARPing as a Japanese. I'm not even speaking Japanese, and I'm claiming that I'm LARPing. That's kind of funny. Furthest away from actually LARPing. Anyways, we made good progress today on this. Pretty much all of the improvements from this to this was done today. Yesterday it was mostly the groundwork, the colors, and the setup. I'm not ending the stream. I'm just gonna hop off to do some other things. I'll just do some more sketches, I think, over here. But like tomorrow I'll definitely continue on the background here. Slowly push out the rest of the gang. Right now there are people, but it's looking oddly empty. Like all these spaces, you don't really get hints of people in them. So it feels very empty. And of course, that's the ground situation, which I think I'll leave till the end, because it is kind of tricky. Yes, thank you, Show. I think I was talking to Wizard just now as well. I feel like inside of me, because I've seen a bunch of stuff, right? Dubay and all the others have been sharing a lot. We've been doing this for a while. I think like somewhere in my head there is probably this sort of value judgment that I can do to figure out what looks objectively good. It's just that a lot of times I'm caught on the fact that like I'm not drawing anything for a particular reason. Like right now, Rhea, there's no story with Rhea here. And also, like, if this is just a pure copy of a reference, right? If I were to have planned this, it would have been a lot worse. The composition, the idea, the execution, all these things would probably drop by quite a few levels. So it's still a lot of work to truly be able to execute at this level, but that's good, I suppose. We're making progress. Also, I see why her head feels kind of weird. This part looks very, very flat. Yeah, without reference, this perspective would have been hell. That's why, like, Blender, I think, is a must. It's not even an optional thing. Like, you could draw this by hand, but I think the amount of experience you need to practice is just not feasible for most people. You would really need to be doing this full-time, all your effort kind of situation. Yeah. Anyways. This is part of the stream where I goof off and I don't do anything in particular. And I just do sketches. Instagram? I do not have Instagram. I only have a Twitter. Do I have my links? I haven't updated in a long time, though. I have my Twitter in the description though. Nashao Hamid. I'm not sure which one's the first name, so I'm just gonna get called a full name. I have all the links like Twitter, Instagram, and stuff, but I don't update it because like stuff like what you just saw is a study. So I don't want to upload studies because it's someone else's photo, someone else's idea and composition. I don't want to just make it look like it's just mine. Although I have uploaded studies before, I think. But if it's Ria, I think maybe I keep it a little bit cleaner. I think most of the time studies are easier to do than original stuff, though. Because there's a lot less work on your end, on our end as artists, but... What was I doing yesterday? Probably complete. It will be worse. I can guarantee you it will be worse. Just because, like, again, not enough experience. So your composition skills, your execution skills, and this and that will all be a lot lower. Or maybe execution is not really related, because I'm still executing if I have to do a study, but... Oh no, that's not true, because if it's a study, then there's like all the folds and seams and everything already in there, like for fabric, for example. So you don't have to guess, and you don't have to find separate references. So it will still be worse, actually. Simple percent if I'm not directly copying. Right, show. I mean, that is... Believe it or not, that is the same for me, because I don't practice anatomy in perspective, right? Like, if you see me do like a copy sketch with like people's posing and stuff, I don't break it down into boxes and put the boxes into perspective. I don't do what people do like this. And then they put the boxes in perspective like this. And then they figure out where the anatomy goes. You need to do a lot of this if you want to get very good at perspective with anatomy. But it's very tedious. And it's very boring. So I kind of just go by feel. So, like, for example, the biggest problem is that if you put multiple characters into the same scene, where do they stand relative to each other? That is really hard to get right, unless you have a good understanding of perspective for anatomy. Because you kind of need to plot it in like this. Some proportion issues, but it's the same for me. Although nowadays I feel like the requirements of it is a lot lower, because again you can substitute it with 3D. And there are already so many ready to use like sort of human figures, and it's rigged up. Just put it in the scene and it's just like, oh, whatever, you know, like just go for it. Right now, I have two options. I can either do more sketches with more ideas, which I'm looking for, or I can bring one of these to render, because I do kind of want to see... I do want to develop a workflow where it is a lot less painterly than what we saw before. What we saw before is like super painterly. You do black and white, then you put colors on, and then you paint. You adjust colors, and then you paint, and adjust colors and paint. And then you find the edges slowly. I want to do the cell shading kind where you have a sketch. You grab the big shapes, and then every time you paint something, it is going to be super precise. It is about that one shape, and that's it. So cell shading basically. Cell shading always, you know, it's hard for me to practice around, but it'll click. But I guess it'll... No, it takes like a lot of time for it to click. It will click. Guarantee it will click. But the click doesn't happen... It's a bit weird. Like, I think like the click that people are talking about, like that you sort of think about when people say it, it's like you're answering a puzzle or something, and all of a sudden you see two pieces of clues joined together, and then the problem is solved. Art is less of that kind of click. It's a click where... let me see if I can illustrate it, right? Because how it felt for me is that... So if you imagine... oh shit, how do I present this, right? Let's say escape room or something, you know. You have like a big clue. Big clue, clue 1 plus clue 2, and then equals solution. Like, art is less of like this and more of like what didn't work, number 1, and then didn't work, number 2, right? And then you have number 3, and then 4, and then 5. Each one is like very tiny amount of information, but then over time these things kind of stack up, and then you arrive at a solution very gradually. because you're like kind of like in a space and you're kind of bouncing around everywhere, and then you're like hitting all these dead ends, and then you slowly sort of coalesce into like a point, and you're like, oh, this feels good to me, and this makes sense to me now. But you don't necessarily know why it's here. It's not like you have two big clues and you know it's like contributing to the solution. You have a lot of experience that you don't really even remember too much that's pointing you to that. That's kind of why it felt like to me. Like drawing the lines right now, for example, right? I think when I started, I still didn't really get what line art, like what the line weight situation is about. But now I kind of feel it because, say, like this one here, I'm not explicitly trying to force the line to be darker here or here or here, but it just looks better if I do it that way. Although I feel like this is a bit too even. Like this is too even here. I might like do like more here and there. But I guess a lot of it would also be personal preference. I mean, I don't know if you guys would agree that this is better necessarily. It's just more visually interesting, I think. Better or not, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's at least how it feels like to me. Render sequence requires a little bit of a exploration. I need to control. No, I don't control. We go loose and then we see where we end up. Alright. Oh, actually I should have just cut it. Oops. Not really there. And then this execution also has another requirement, actually. Is that I kind of need it to be big. The sketches are done at like a smaller size. So the brushes and its behavior and things are a little bit different than when you upscale it. And in the past I had a lot of issues when I do upscale it. Alright, how big should I go actually? Maybe I'll just go like super big. No, but super big kind of has its own... I don't know. Let's keep it somewhere reasonable. So what is the plan here? I don't actually know. I only have some idea of what I would like. I know the lines must be opaque. That's a requirement because in the past with markers doing the lines or opacity brushes doing it, it's very noisy along the edges. So I want it to be opaque lines, that's for sure. I also want, like I said before, like these darker sections. But I don't know the relative ratios between the line weights. I also don't know if every part is going to have line weights. I'm entertaining this idea where you don't have line weights on everything. Actually, can I do it? This is here, right? I'm gonna try and put the color first. Let's do silhouette first, actually. Do a little bit lighter. Oh, I just need to bring this up. Oh, actually, I could just... No, I can't see. I need to see the edges. So this one needs to have clear edges. The edges need to be tight here. Dark. I also need like a rougher brush than this, I think. Where the edges are even more spiky. Anyways, I'm just trying random stuff now. Kind of like what I did for the other piece, but just in a different direction. And then we'll see if we get anything useful out of it. Do that for now. I need this to be... I want to vary the brush sizes as well because it messes up the edges in different ways. Oh wait, the back is completely right. Oh shit, I kind of forgot. Ah, but I do have shapes that I want, so maybe I'll separate the hair and stuff separately then. I have to grab this out somehow. There must be a way to preserve this. Let me just make a copy of this. Use it for like the body separation later. More whimsical or more round? Oh, not mutually exclusive. Easier to draw more round. It's kind of a pain, yes. Let's do this instead. Trying very deliberately to keep some of these roughness in. I don't know how it's gonna look, because we do need lines in some of these areas, which would then go over these parts. Nothing venture, nothing gain, I suppose. Got this brush, it's so annoying. Nice. Use a square brush, complains about brush being square. Big smart. Stay like that. Oh no, then there will be no difference. I can only do the erasure if the brush actually allows for it. So let's ignore this. Yeah, the requirement for this style will be fast. It has to be fast. It has to be crisp. Fast inherently means simple already, so that's fine. We do want something simple. Alright, let me do this, and then I can grab the body. Oh, where's my colors? Oh, but it's not quite the same value. We don't need everything. I wouldn't need that, for example. Design detail, I need to become precise. No, that part's fine. Okay. I did erasure, right? Okay. Didn't mess it up. Very, very good. Oh wait. That is interesting. I guess I have to find the edge later. This part is very uncertain. Separate. Maybe do it separate. I think I do want lines in first after all. I thought that maybe after the thing you might have enough to work with. But not quite. You have something to work with. Like if I just keep using this line, these lines as guides, and keep putting in shapes, we end up with something that doesn't have any lines but has enough form, hopefully, to hold itself together. And then we go in with lines to emphasize certain areas. I'll try doing that anyways for this one. Just to see what happens, but doesn't necessarily feel very right either. Let's do it out here. I should get rid of this. I think I don't need this anymore. There you go. Okay. Now what? Just a BB. Yeah, and let's help together. If not, it's not going to. It's not gonna hold itself together like that. Oh shit! I think I missed some videos. Messages. Sorry, Kirio. It just loaded. Hello, Kirio. Also, sure. I guess I missed some of that. Maybe it's not visible. I think it's good for that. Understand things a bit better. Right. Draw a bigger moment. I asked something recently. I saw they use lasso filter for base color, and then they circled the entire sketch, and the sketch got filled pretty cleanly. So I wonder how they do it. They circled the entire sketch. I have to see exactly what you like to see what you mean. If it looks like they're just putting in like across everything, then I guess they must have had some way of selecting it already. I remember seeing, this is probably not 100% related, but I do remember seeing people turn off like the dotted lines after selection so they can see better or something. So instead of seeing these dotted lines, they wouldn't see it. So if that's the case, then you put in like a big circular like this. It will still only fill the area that you have selected. But I doubt that's the case because you would have seen them do the selection then at some point. What is WW? Oh, that's base. Ah, that's white. That's cream. Let's call it cream. W. Unless, I think carrot is a bit hard to search. It's too generic of a word. Root vegetables, yes, thank you. Carrot artist is gonna... Oh, there is one person that came out. Like this. 3 carrots in a trench coat. In Japanese. Oh, in Japanese. Wait, in Japanese? Don't I know? Wasn't there one Japanese artist by the name of Carrot? Carrot. Yeah, for this style to work, these areas need to be very tight. But the reason I left it like this because it's the eye. But anyway, she is famous. You might know her. I see. Oh, it's kind of good. I know it works for us. Yeah, the eyes definitely need like lines here at some point. If not now. It's kind of dark. Oh, right, I shouldn't have done the skin color on this part. Nor the base on this part. Some of these areas are easier to control by itself like this. Oh, I don't care about the lines because I am not following the lines. Same thing here, I think. Ah, okay, let me just lock the layer then. Ah, yes, sure. I'll be with you in a second. Kind of big. Yeah, it's kind of big. Oh yeah, one of those special tools, right? It could also be that. Where it looks at the line. Oh, we've been here a time before, it looks like. Oh, weren't we just here? I think Uni just shared them yesterday. On this, a lot of the streams I see. I didn't realize they have a YouTube. My screen is going black. Stop. Here. 404 not found. Right, we were here. Right, yeah. Oh, yeah. We were here. I don't remember seeing any videos. Fix it. Oh, wow, this color is really good. In Discord or oh, if you're putting links here, it's gonna get removed as always. You just have to put the ID of their YouTube channel. I don't even see the link, by the way. Usually like it only removes it for the stream side, but I can see it on my side, but I can't even see link. Yes. Yeah, we do. Oh my god. Copy message link. Oh, it sends me to Discord. Congrats. I kind of forget that it does that. If I click on this, I think it opens in Chrome. Yeah, no, that's fine. Good thing my Chrome is open, because otherwise we would be lagging out. If it's loading in everything. Yeah, they don't show tools, right? Oh, this is the one I was saying that I like. Yeah, surely for just these blocking. Oh wait, no, she's just suggesting stuff. Yeah, she's just selecting and then filling, right? Oh my god, she does it like this. Why wouldn't she just use the tool that autofills? But I guess you can adjust the selections before you do it. But they unlist their streams. I mean, streams. It is kind of like a public side of you. Like, I mean, like having it always be there, like all the mistakes that you might have made or the wrong things that you might have said, everything is online and always available for people to see. I think that's maybe like some people don't. I mean, I wouldn't want it. I'm only leaving it out of principle. No, let me rephrase that. I'm leaving it because I came in with the intention of leaving it. So I'm auto-filtering before I say things already. So all the stuff that I mentioned are things I'm okay with being here. I mean, you have to find like a specific instance of them using it. So far, I feel like it's pretty normal. They select and then they just fill it. And then after that, they just paint, which makes a lot of sense, more sense to me. I thought they would have just painted all the shapes. Like, there was no... Was there any benefit in this selection to fill? It's not like the shapes were necessarily super precise, and they would have been more precise with the brushes anyways. We're not talking about, like, very sharp, tiny angles and corners that might require the precision of, like, a selection tool. We're not talking about big broad strokes where you just want to select tool and then like add in like big shapes because you want to add some noise quickly. They're just doing very small squares, very precise, like not very precise squares. Someone kept this child up for data analysis. I would probably be the one that does that, Curio. Probably scrape it and then send it to AI. It's like, hey, what did I say on this day at this moment? Okay, who's the bigger sim? What do they have? Let me see. Is this it? Just like 3? Oh, there's more. I mean, if you come across it, like, sure. Again, I don't think I'll be searching for it. I don't think you should necessarily bother searching for it either. I mean, it's just an interesting piece of information, right? It's not like it's gonna change your life or art. I don't know if it's worth the time searching it up. Is what I'm saying. If it's like a very unique technique of like doing adjustments that I saw like Mika Picasso did once, I think it's worth. Otherwise, I like the hair in there though. How long did they take? It took them 4 hours to get to this stage. Let me see. Okay, I mean... Wait, what did they... Are they the line art kind? They are the line art kind, right? Right. It is line art, but also kind of like rough line art. Some parts don't end, and it's opacity enabled, and it gets a bit overlappy. Interesting. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Very cool. Cap. strong. Yeah, very strong. Why is it? It's yeah, it's probably more this color. Now what? Right, for sure. But if you have to spend hours searching for it, I think it's not worth it. Oh wait, this is around here. Because I'm sure you run into it again, I think, at some point. Now I need to figure out what to do with my lines. As it stands, this is going to be... Converting from one to the other. Some of the lines must go in now, that's for sure, because things will not stand otherwise. For sure, for sure. It does sound interesting though. I think I do, wait, hang on. Where did I put it? I have like the brush that Kirio talked about, where it's like a little bit smart in the sense that it only colors within the lines. But I don't use it because it's still not smart enough. Like anything that tries to automate stuff, like it's trying to do edge detection and this and that, and it's usually not very good with a lot of these like single pixel sections, like closed off sections like this is gonna miss and stuff like that. I mean, whether if you want that in your line or in the first place. I don't know where it is. I have it here somewhere. Let's erase along edge. So this one here is a similar idea. Let me see. I'm just gonna draw a separate thing. Wait, hang on, it's over here. Okay, I'm gonna forget where it is. Watch me forget where it is. I think it's like this, and then you will color like that, and then this selection should be smart enough. I think it needs to mark this as reference, and then it will be able to only out. Oh wait, oh it doesn't care about reference. I think it's just, never mind. It does care about reference. Forget it. You do have to mark it as reference here. And then if you like, if your circle goes over a little bit, it doesn't care. But if your tip of your brush moves in, then it will care. And now it's on the inside. Oh, and now it's on the outside. Oh, interesting. That's how it works, huh? This might help you with like figuring out. Sorry, not figuring out. Like doing colors, like color fill and stuff. I don't use it. Looking at it now, it's actually probably not too bad. I thought it was pretty bad, but then like I kind of like the process of filling in the base colors because it's the one time where my brain doesn't have to think. But if you want this brush, it's over here. I'm gonna send the link. I forgot you're using Clip Studio Paint, right? Because this is a very software specific thing to do this. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Look at that. What? It's kind of hard to get like the tiny areas because it's very precise with where you're pointing, I think. Noto bato. Oh my god. Get out of here. I mean, would to starting with, like, what are you looking to study? I honestly feel like this is not a question I can answer because it's kind of what you like. like I don't feel like study is like this kind of like tier progression thing necessarily. There are some like really difficult to study artists, that's for sure, right? But then I think just in general for everybody else, even if it looks kind of complicated, you can still go for it, and you should probably go for it if you like their stuff. You should. I think the main basis for choosing an artist is really if you like their stuff or not. Because I'm not sure if you're asking me for recommendation because you're saying start studying with, right? You're looking for someone who maybe is a bit more suitable for beginners. Is that kind of what you're thinking of? Because I don't know if there are such artists. Because like the whole point of studying is to study something that you don't know, so it's always going to be hard. It's always going to be something you don't know. Of course, there are like more the tricky stuff to learn just from studying. But just in general, I feel like you should give it a try anyways. Because you will surprise yourself, actually. You will be surprised by like how much you could do. Just like the one I was doing for the other one as well. Like oh wait, this is this. It just looks very complicated, but once you start putting shapes and colors down, it becomes a point of reference for you to do the other things. And then when the other things are in, it becomes a point of comparison for what you have done before. And all of a sudden, you have a lot of clues that pushes you towards the correct answer and the solution. Whether if that is the correct colors, correct proportion, correct position even on the canvas. If you just jump in and give it a try, it's easier than you would think. For sure. Alright, I mean, otherwise, I don't know, like, proportion, like, I have some artists in mind, maybe for, like, proportions, but it's because I like the way they stylize certain things. There are artists that do a lot of sketching, or, like, just, like, doing a lot of different poses with simple colors, and they are good for sort of understanding maybe portraying character personality through actions and posing. That kind of stuff, perhaps. Like, if you have an idea of what you want to study, maybe I can think of some. But honestly, I have issues finding people to study half the time, so... But I could give it a try if you like, if you have something specific. Figure out the stylization here. Face and structure, structure of body, it's not clear. Oh. Interesting. So I feel like there's two approaches to this. One is like what we described before, where you're being very methodical, very sort of technical with the way you're studying. You're putting boxes over everything, you're putting the box in perspective, and then figuring out how to use this guideline, this tool that is the box. Or you can just do it by vibes. If you want to be more technical, there are like artists like Taco, and manga materials, Taco. Just off the top of my head, they have a lot of these resources, right? I'm sure you've seen them before too, yourself. I mean, I guess as with all things, it's always probably a balance between like something very technical and something more sort of vibey, right? This guy would have all the structure you ever need. Like if you're feeling like the stuff that you draw is very wonky, right? It's not very grounded in anatomy. This is who you would study. But I promise you, like, it's gonna be very dry. This is like very dry. If you just want to do, and I remember doing bones actually when I first started doing streaming, and it kind of helped actually. If you just go to Pinterest Sorry, Pinterest bones. But okay, it actually gave me shit. But like you would want to look for like artists, like references for artists, because you don't want to be that precise. You want to have some idea, like for example, this kind. I think, did I do this one specifically? I'm not sure, but what you want to do is kind of get a rough understanding of what the bones are like. You don't need to know like all these individual parts and this and that, just a rough idea and where sort of muscles are connected to. If you go back to like the early first 30 streams, if you just look at the thumbnails, wait, I'm not sure if that's actually going to be helpful, but in there I spend a lot of time just looking at stuff like this, trying to understand, hey, this blue muscle thing, hey, starts at the back of your skull, right? It goes to this top of like your shoulder here, and then it comes along like it sort of avoids the shoulder blade, and then it comes down, and then it's like this. And this seems kind of useless to me in the past, but it's actually been quite helpful in sometimes, because especially looking at other people's stuff, if you see muscles being rendered, like shadows being put in, you kind of have an idea of why that is. And if you know the structure like this, you can kind of memorize the shapes a little bit better too. It just helps you read. It's like, if you know the Japanese alphabet, hiragana and katakana, every time you see Japanese, you can learn a little bit. But if you don't know the alphabets, you can never learn. It never sticks with you, because it's nothing to stick to. Yeah, there will be a part of the process where it's super dry, where you're just looking at the bones. And it's like, oh, that's the pelvic bone. Oh, the abs kind of joins to the pelvic bones. Oh, you have these strips of muscle, which is what people always like to draw when they draw, like, women. And then you have stuff like that. You don't need anyone in particular, you just kind of need a little bit of this baseline. And then you can move on to like artists. Muscos. Oh my god. Do these kind of like very stylized breakdowns. I really like these. I kind of want to do more of these, specifically for like the hips and the legs. This will help you with more structure. If you want more structure, it's going to be very good. Taco will not be this taco. Holy shit. Is this Korean? Oh, sorry. I'm just going to send all the links. I'm not sure if you have them already, because these are very decently famous people. And they have, this guy also has like more breakdowns. Slightly less dry, I think, because it's a little bit more interesting with like guidelines and stuff to align. You can look at all the angles of the legs, you can look at where what the shapes are like, There's like tons and tons of these. You can just pick like 5 every day and just draw along. Will Western? I have no idea who that is. I don't know who this is. Is this a person? Okay, it's nothing. I don't. It's not a single person. Honestly, this you just need like a little bit. You don't need a lot, because once you have a good idea of like a rough idea of where things are and what like the sort of basic shapes are, I think jumping straight into like figure drawing would probably be better. You want to look at like actually naked models. I don't know if this is going to give me anything. But anytime someone else has drew something, you can kind of see the curves and you can kind of understand where all the bones are. Like the iliac crest is over here, iliac crest over here, pubic bones here, the ribs end around here. And you don't have to be super accurate. You just need to have a system that works for yourself, and then that's about it. We're Western, I see. I mean, like, at the end of the day, art isn't like math and science, right? Like, there is not necessarily a lot of logic that you need to apply. If you just spend enough time on it, you will be able to learn it. And that's why I think some of these things look similar, because at the end of the day, the human body is just the human body. There is nothing new. There's nothing really like constantly changing about it. So they are gonna look pretty similar, all the different artists and all the different stylization, which is also why it's not that important, right? Like what artist you study from, but rather what you want to study itself. But if you just want to do structure, like this is what I would do if I were you, and if I want more structure. Ouch. Oh my god. I like studying from these now, just because I don't really care about the anatomy too much. If the character looks like they're doing what you want them to do, that is good enough. The structure in the past is super important because you can't just get references like so easily, right? You can maybe get a model, but you have to pay them. You have to find someone with the body type and this and that. So if you understand the structure, you can be a lot more flexible and stuff. But for me, I just want to draw anime girls, right? We're not drawing like a lot of different body types all of the time. I don't have to know where the fat is deposited and how that's going to affect the silhouette. For those, you kind of really need to have a lot more studying. But I don't care. So I'm just going to go by vibes once I have a base structure, which is a lot more easier to do. Without, I don't know, like it just kind of happened. That's kind of what I mean by the clicking thing doesn't really click. Yeah, at some point in time, you just kind of like feel like it's fine. Like I do, like, okay, there are some of these very basic poses where you just kind of do it over and over and over. You have like, I have decent amount of confidence that it will look good and roughly where things are. Also, by the way, when like stylization and proportion comes in, things are gonna change. But regardless, to answer your question directly, I have no idea. It's not like I explicitly try to make myself comfortable enough to do that, right? It's not like, for example, I do a study of like a pose, and then I try to do the pose without looking at the reference another time. If you do that, you will probably make progress pretty quick, because you're forcing yourself to remember every detail. But you don't necessarily have to do that. You just kind of do enough of it, and things kind of start to make sense, I guess. If you look at the model, if you look at the photo of like the person standing there, and then when you find yourself drawing the thing without even really looking at this anymore, that's when you kind of know you have enough of a basis, I guess. At least the two separate things, but yeah. Right. Yeah, if you want to do stuff like that, right? If you want to draw very unique poses, if you want to draw weird camera angles that people don't tend to do, then you really do need a good structure. If you don't want to do boxes, you have to do the other one at least. You have to do like more, well, actually I don't even know if it's easier, because those are more slightly harder to do. I can't really think of how do people do it? Wait, hang on. So like the torso, maybe like it would be stylized to be something like this. You need some kind of guide for sure. That's for sure. Because the reason being is that if you don't need the guide, you can already see in your head, which is like the next step evolved, right? You evolve to be able to do that. You don't start off being able to do that. You do a lot of guides, and that's how you kind of start being able to see the shapes in your head and the angles. Or you rely more on 3D. That's also fine, I think. Because our goal here is not to be masters in anatomy. We're just trying to draw art. I think. You can do some stylizing. Poses like these. If boxes don't make sense, maybe these will make a little bit more sense. It's more complex shapes, but they're also more sort of down to the, like, more related to the final version of things. They're not as abstract as a box, per se. This hip is too small, by the way. And this torso feels a little bit wide. Like the relative proportions of all these parts, I think this is still kind of jank. You still have to figure out over time, I think. Anyways, only when you have like the guidelines like this can you kind of change the angles. Like if you want to change an angle, like this is kind of doing this, I guess, and front is kind of here and here. So I guess it's about the same setup. Oh wow, this is kind of jank. Yeah, this is very bad. Oh shit, doesn't really work that well. Anyways, Mia might have better, wait. Yeah, I think he might have better advice for something like that. Changing angles with this guideline, I cannot do. I literally cannot do it. I need the boxes, because the boxes make things a lot simpler. We need a post, like, yeah, just like a bend over pose, right? If you do front view, it would be top of a box for shortening on the box, and then the other box for the hips would be kind of like here, maybe pointing a little bit to the back, like at an angle. You join it up, you have the arms, you have the legs. The arms may be coming down here, and then this is like a flat perspective like this, maybe. So if you change the perspective to, say, viewing bottom up, then I will have the box going into the distance in the back, and then this other box would point down at yet a different angle. I'm kind of winging it, of course. But with the boxes, you can... I find that it's the only way that I can actually put stuff in perspective, and I change angles. This is still kind of wrong, because I never put down the grid. Anyways, this is my only way of learning how to do like what you are asking for. There's a lot of very dry exercises and practices. No, it would be like this, right? Lower perspective. Right, yeah. Yeah, all these need to follow the same perspective grid. This one is at a 45-degree angle, so it kind of follows slightly different grids, I think. Just gonna ignore it for now. Just randomly wing it. And for shortening, maybe, because of the going into the distance situation. Like, all these things I only know how to draw because of the exercises I spent in the beginning of this stream series, where I just literally did nothing but this. And then with this you get a better understanding of how to put in all the muscles. Like, I spent time drawing all the muscles connecting to the bones, right? You have the pectorals and you have the deltoids connecting to the this and that. I don't think you can really skip this, if I'm being honest. Like, for what you're asking, I don't think there's a way to really skip to like the really, really, really dry and basic stuff. Because if you want to have the ability to do that without references, without setting up 3D, without doing all these things, like using external tools to help you, you really have to be able to see in your head. And I cannot do it. Like, right now, I cannot do it. Yeah, overlap torso and hip a bit, right? Like this part and this part, right? Yeah. Again, like, it's gonna be very slow. Like, the progress is very slow. I get burnt out all the time because, like, things are not moving. It feels like it's very, very slow. That's because it is, but anyways, all the not so useful looking things, I imagine, will be useful at some point, right? Even if it means that, like, you're only finding out stuff that you don't like to do. Yeah, I don't know what the stylization requirements for this is for the line. If I see this yet. But yeah, that's kind of like what I think. I hope at least after like the break that you've taken, you're a bit more refreshed and more motivated to do it. I wonder if that means that I should be doing it the other way. With this. This is an option that I don't really consider. It does look weird with my brush though. It is gonna get weird with my brush. Yeah, it's plushy Rhea. I'm trying to do all sorts of different ways to try to push myself forwards. If it means like going into different things. Actually, this is more of my usual thing in the past. But if it means doing things that are different from what people are expecting, that's fine too. I just need to find a way to move forwards. Furry Rhea means this goofy. Goofy means I don't have to care too much about like keeping ideas consistent, personality consistent. We can make her talk, you know, like, even though she's not supposed to talk. We can explore different styles like this without being too worried about like painting requirements. Like the stuff we were doing before Wizard is more painterly and inherently has some limitations and differences. Here we can do cell shading and more precise stuff, and that helps us see things in a different light. So yeah, it's just different ways of trying to move forwards. I want a style. I want, like, what I'm trying to do here is I want something that is just very clean, like with big clear shapes, big clear sort of shadows. Nothing like the mask that we had before, right? The mask is good for some things, but not necessarily good for other things. Honestly, like even for this though, at some point I'm gonna have to come in and like figure out like, hey, where are the butt cheeks? And where it ends, right? Like all these things. But yeah, there's way more colors, way more shades, way more nonsense going on. I want something very clean here. That is did I mess up the colors? Oh yeah. It will sort itself out one day. Motivated to draw, but drawing and grinding things is different. We just do it. I see. Yeah, if you have problems focusing, I think like streaming or like being with. No, you have to be by yourself. I would say like you should be by yourself when you're working like this. Yeah, you definitely also want to be present when you're actually doing it. You don't want to shut off your brain completely. But then it gets very tiring very quickly, right? So you just let yourself like relax a little bit. Like keep your hand moving. Just keep drawing. Yeah, it's kind of hard to exactly convey in words. You kind of have to find a balance somewhere in there. But yeah, definitely have like a fixed time and a fixed number of hours where you just put in the work, like kind of like what the streams for me is doing. And then you just need to make sure you show up. No, like how about this, right? If you stream on Discord, if you stream anywhere, there's always this opportunity for someone to come in and talk and interrupt you. You should find a way to stream, but like just don't look at the chat. Make sure you never look at the chat. If you stream in Discord, just mute yourself and mute Discord and never look at it. What you want is like being sort of forced to be in the moment because you're like, hey, I'm streaming. People might be watching. You know, you want to be a little bit self-conscious in that sense. But then you don't want to let other people interrupt you. Because the self-consciousness forces you to be in the moment and be a little bit more focused right now. In the beginning, it's going to feel very scary. Depending on how you feel about streaming. In the beginning, I was nervous, right? But like, it's just... After a while, you get used to it. But then because you're still in sort of a public eye, you goof off less. Like, I would be on Roblox right now if I wasn't doing this. That's kind of how it feels to me. Just being in the public's eye right now. And because of that, I cannot goof off. People better not do this or that and get kind of distracted. But how long have you tried that for though, Show? If you're only trying it 1 time or 2 times, that's not going to be enough to get over that kind of feeling though. It took me months to get comfortable with streaming. And I did that like, what, every weekday? In the beginning as well, I think I switched to every weekday pretty quick. Ah, shit, this doesn't really work. I still want my own lines. This line kind of sucked. Alright, get out of here. No more lines for me. Also, just for reference, I'm not saying that this is not a good idea, but like I don't find like watching people is a good idea. Because anytime there's additional sort of visual input coming in is another distraction. Like it's about not having any input coming in other than the fact that you feel like you have to keep doing it. If you get what I'm saying. If you are in a position where you're chatting, like what I'm doing right now, I'm chatting, I'm actually not drawing, right? You guys see that my hands are stopped. Even in voice chat, I think can be kind of distracting. Especially if you're learning in the process of it. If your process is very clear and fixed and very established, then talking is just like, you don't have to think about your process. But you see me spending a lot of time talking about my process because I don't have that down. I have no idea what I should be doing at any station point in time. So if I'm talking about it, I cannot do anything. The only input that is really, really helpful for me being on stream is just being aware that I'm on stream. People are gonna look at me and judge me, so I better work harder, you know. But in honesty, if I want more efficiency, I shouldn't look at chat. I shouldn't be chatting all the time. But I think that would be a little bit too cold. That was a trade-off that I was aware of and I was going to make already. Like coming in to chat and this and that. Ah man, I cannot stand not having lines. Oh shit. Drives me insane. For a style like this, I feel like lines would be very important. I was just hoping for something that's a bit faster. Lines kind of slow things down. But lines are the reason why it looks good in the sketch, so... If I don't have it here, we don't carry that over. I just need to make sure I don't spend too much time cleaning lines up. So if I have rough lines like that, I should just kind of leave it. But that inherently kind of goes against the vibes of everything, because it's meant to be nice and soft and smooth and all that. So, anyways. Kind of jumping back and forth here between topics, but... I think regardless of what you try though, Sho, as long as you find a time slot for yourself every day and you just do something. Make sure that time is only meant for this one thing and only do that one thing during that time. And then you repeat that for months and months and months, and then like at some point in time it just kind of becomes a natural thing to do. And then during that period of time, you can also just like experiment with different ideas. You can be in Discord stream, not be in the stream, watch other people stream, this and that. And see what works better, I guess. Plenty of time to test things out. It's too noisy like this. Why did the original one work? It's because it's kind of smooth still. It's just very fat lines. But what about the times where I went over things? I don't have that. Oh. This is still too noisy like this. Yeah, I mean... Right, I suppose. I mean, like, I'm thinking about the word sensei again. I find it, it's kind of weird. I think, like, maybe there are some things that are more universal or more established or more easily confirmed. But a lot of these things, I don't like it when people are so confident when they're presenting, like, hey, you should just definitely do this. It's definitely going to be working. But if you're asking for what I would do, I think I would do that. I mean, I'm doing that. I think it's been, what, 1,000, 2,000 hours probably since we started streaming. Wait, why is this on this layer? Am I stupid? I am stupid. Okay, hang on. Yeah, what lines should be thick and what lines should not be thick, as well as what the variation in line weight should be. Like this part versus this part is a bit too strong, I think. This part might be too strong as well. Might have to thin this out a bit. But the mouth should be smaller. The mouth, like the lines here and here, should be thinner. It has gaps in it because of my stupid brushing. We need a better way to do this. I need another brush. Does this leave gaps? This does not. Okay, maybe I dupe this then. Let's dupe this for... I need to start naming them, but... I'm lazy to name as well. Variation-wise... Reload CT. Okay, now it's kind of insane. The impact of the lines is too weak here. I want to thin this out. I want to balance this out too. Shit. Gonna have to redraw this, I think. Very minor, it's very annoying though, the way it curves. And then I want to join this. And I also want to make this thinner. But the original is kind of thick though, bro. It's catching this one. There's a lot of double backing in art, I feel like. Because I feel like I've been here too. Like, I've always thought the fact that, like, hey, if you have to do separate lines for it, it is very slow and inefficient. You have to do everything twice. If we can just go from this to this, and then just be satisfied with the result, that would be so nice. But I'm never satisfied with the result. Why not though? Like, if it's the right thickness, I guess it's just messy. And the textures, and it's not opaque. And then if I do make it opaque, now all of a sudden it's too strong. Yeah, it's also not clean. Also maybe too thick, but that's what I like, no? Anyways, I don't know what's going on. Then we need like good brush control for this. Oops. Oh, I see. Velocity is getting in the way. And this guy needs to be able to go down. So I can get like a good... See, this is probably a place where stabilization might come in handy, Wizard. I'm just stubborn. This is probably a place where it will come in handy here. Because you want to go slow, and then control that line weight along the way. But the reason... I don't think I can do this, though. And the main reason is because I'm not used to this. It feels very awkward to have to go so slow, but not too that slow. If I make it 100%. Yeah, there's always this kink. Because my hand's calibrated to to not have stabilization. Assuming I increase the speed, right? Looks like there's more distance it can cover with the same brushstroke, I guess. It's okay. I'll just make do with my own hands, I guess. Perfections, imperfections, whatever that there is there. I'll just make do with it a little bit. I suppose stabilization does remove a little bit of personality if you're, you know, if that's what I'm calling imperfect lines, personality, then I suppose. I'm out. Yeah, I'm not so convinced this is the style that I was looking for. But I kind of have to execute through it if I want to figure out. It's a hard part of job you get in face at it. Right, yeah. If you have to zoom out, you can't really get it's okay. Anyways, in my head I was thinking that, hey, you get the shapes in, and then based on the shapes, you put the lines in. And maybe it's following the color, maybe it's not. But if it's like this, it would not look very good, right? If there's like a white gap there. Unless this is established as a separate strand of hair, then maybe. And if it's like the other way around, it's also kind of not great. So if the line needs to be precisely along the border, then why not do that first? Then you should probably do that first. Then you're doing line art. But I don't really want to do line art. What if I just take this? Yeah, the other option would be to take this and just put in shapes. Where's my color? Heat. So to be a bit more faint. Oh, it's not strong enough, right? I tweaked the... I think it's fine to have different opinions. I think it is possible that it does it remove some stuff, right? Like the whole point of stabilization is to remove the jitter from the thing. Like inherently, you can never do jittery lines anymore. You cannot do like quick changes in the lines because it prevents you from doing that. So in that way, it does remove that sort of aspect from your lines. You can't do that anymore, like physically. Whether if you wanted that in the first place or not, then that will be up to personal preference. Yeah, but this is so hard to do. You have to be so precise with all the edges. So I'm basically painting the lines in anyways, like this. Am I not? Because I'm still following the same edges. And now I have to do it constantly. For not just the part behind, but for this part too. I want to maintain this. I don't know. I don't know what I want here. Dun, dun. I think there's a chance that might be what show meant, just imprecise language possibly, but because wobbles can be a part of that wobbling is also from the thing toggling back and forth, right? Like your line weight. I guess that would not be the main part of it though. It will be the physical position of the pen that is mostly causing the wobbles. Maybe I should sit around and just wait for the... not wait for it. I should look for the... a clean style. This is a clean style. Like, this would be nice. This is a clean style. I can see that happening, right? It's not too far off. You have to close the lines, though. How do I feel about this, though? This is kind of interesting in that you have some mismatches here and there. It is a little bit distracting. It's contrast, and it's distracting. Maybe I'll target this. It's mostly line color. Line weight variation isn't too strong. In fact, it's pretty much constant. Constant lines. Constant lines will remove the quality that was in here. No, but it could be constantly large. Yeah. Or I could trace over the outside afterwards. Anyway, I don't know. I really just enjoy sketching though. I don't really like renders still. Kind of what this is for. But even then, it's still kind of a pain. Oh, and there's an option to paint this. Paint this up. Anyways, I'm kind of goofing off more now. I am probably gonna hop off then. It's there's some places that I wanted to fix. But I don't think I can fix it like this. It makes it a little bit weak. What? Retransform, right? Why isn't it letting me... What? Now I can move it. What? Yeah, that's not really... It's too curvy for her. That's why. Yeah, doodles are so much nicer. Oh, wait. No. I remember like the thing we were doing, Wizard, with the binarization. I can use that to clean the line art. Why don't I just do line art, then clean the line art, then just use that? Where the hell is the thing? Like here, okay. Yellow? Why is it not doing anything? Hello? What's it doing? It's here, right? Oh. Wait, what? Oh, it doesn't work. Wait, does it not work binarization? Because it's always 100%. Wait, no, it's always black. Wait, no, but it worked before. Yeah, but it's all going at the same time. Okay, that's a trick around this anyways. There's always a trick around it. I remember Uni showed me this. I never really thought that this might ever be a thing, but... Hello? What the hell? Just put the white color in, please. Thank you. You can see it working immediately, but that's just because there's no white reference here. Now with the white reference, I can this. Yeah, there's some amount of cleanliness here. And then maybe if I... No, well, what's the point? If I show the sketch again. Because it does lose some of the details and it looks a little bit like a, you know, old newspaper kind of print or something, like the printer ran out of ink. Oh, I know what it feels like. It feels like you put it through a scanner, which is exactly what it does. It does binarization, pretty much. If it's a black and white. Well, not quite. It has more steps. But anyways, yeah, it's kind of messed up. Okay, hang on. Can I do this to the one I was working on before? What does that look like? Why do I have a folder here that has nothing in? Oh, because I didn't put it in. Big brain. I want to put it on top. I want to duplicate this. I want to duplicate another layer. Put it below. Put it there. Put it. Make it white. Yoink. Get rid of this. Merge this down. Colors. Oh shit! Don't work no more. Right. I need to make this maybe darken. That works. Extract lines. Oh yeah, is there a... Hang on. Extract lines might be weird because if thick lines, it might get 2 lines. One for the outer and one for the inner. But we can try that. What does this... Wait, hang on. Where is it? I don't know where it is. Colorize advanced fill smoothing filter. Definitely not blur. Adjust line width. Nothing here. Effect. Quick effects apply to layer. Sorry, my screen's black right now. Quick effects apply to current layer. Oh shit! I didn't even know this is a thing. I've never even seen this. There's color adjustments. This is just zoom. Oh, the other one? I see. Sorry. Quick effects. This one? Scroll down. Oh shit, you can scroll, dude. Holy shit. Oh, it's gone. Where'd it go? Is it because... Is it even doing? There are no settings for me to play with. I guess it is called quick effects because you just want to do it quickly. You can do chromatic aberration. Why did I do this manually before? But I guess you get more control. Okay, it might be a color thing, or it might be opacity thing. We can do that. I mean, it's already kind of ruined at this point, but... What? Why does it hate this layer? I don't know what the math does. If we know the math, then we can maybe try to work around it, but I don't know what it does. Oh, isn't it dark enough? Let's do that. Now, doesn't that mean that it's just a binarization? If it's relying entirely on just what is black? Because right now, even the sketch lines are still here. Just because it's all black. So is it meant for... Like, okay, let's say what if we do it on this, right? What if we do this on this? Let me dupe it. Merge. Filter quick effects apply to current layer. Extract lines. What? I see. Okay, this looks like AI now. Dang, dude. Weird. Apply to all layers. Yeah, chromatic aberration like this is so strong, dude. You cannot change. But if you just want it on the borders, I guess this is a great way to do it fast. Apply to all layers. So it'd be all layers below, right? My screen's black. Okay, then this might be too strong, perhaps. Are we in the crowd? Oh wait, did I? Looks the same, I think. I just took out my markers, I think. It made my markers come out more. Nope, not quite. I guess it is the darker stuff. Just the layer mode of it. What, you want me to keep this? You mean like confirm this, right? And then use this on top of the original? Wait, it's just this. Oh, okay. So I know what this is gonna do then. It's just going to be the same as the other one, I think. It's just gonna make darker stuff darker or brighter, depending on what you do with this layer. But it's just a selection mask for the darker stuff then, pretty much. What was this? Divide. Oh, of course it's divide. Okay, right, that makes sense. Because it just inverts it pretty much. What does this do? It does nothing. Alright, because it's black. Exclusion does what again? Is it a negate? Things easier to distinguish. Like, it does, right? But that's not the point, right? The point is to make it not easy to distinguish. Like, that's the thing with adjustment layers. Like, I get what you're saying. It increases the contrast, which is exactly what it does. But the problem is that that's what we already have accounted for. Like, this values and all the contrast is the way it is because I wanted it to be like this. So like adjustments layers where it only changes value, like I mentioned yesterday, tend not to be that useful, especially when you're at this stage when you're done with the adjustments, because you should already get it right already before you even start rendering. It's primarily like weird effects with, like, for example, it's primarily stupid effects like this where it's impossible to paint in because it's just way too complicated. You can do that and then put it on soft light. And then now there's a lot more shades in there. This is primarily what I think is good for, like layer adjustments and stuff, gradient maps and stuff that just takes way too much effort. But values should have been controlled by you already. I mean, like, it's definitely a personal preference to some extent. I mean, I feel like if you like the kind of contrast, you would have painted that in already. But yeah, I mean, like, you're definitely free to experiment. These were shorter or child characters. I don't have a fixed proportion though. Show. Give me a second here. I'm going to pull out the. This is the alignment chart that I have, but I don't have like a very fixed proportion or anything. I just kind of go by feel of it. And then I'm trying to align it based on this height chart. So 0 meters to 2 meters. And how tall each character is. And I'm trying to see where the faces end up. Like Ria's face is going to be at the boop level here. And as we make them shorter. The only thing I'm paying attention to is where the crotch is. Because it's halfway between like the head and the heel. I always put it halfway between. And then like the head size versus the torso size, that's like primarily... This primarily is just the... Oh. It's primarily this head size against the shoulder width. The shoulder width affects how big this body looks for a specific ratio, like that slenderness that I want. I always want that kind of slenderness. So I'm really just trying to tie this out with this. Because from here it ties out with... I guess as I'm saying this is tied out with... Anyways. Nothing too specific, just going by feel. Which means there is something specific, but I cannot tell you what it is. Unfortunately. For sure, a wizard. That's not a problem, yeah, for sure. If that's the need, there's a lot of ways to do it, right? There's always like tone curve, there's always levels, there's always just using a multiply layer and painting the darker stuff in. It's just in general, the less, like the other effect layers, they're doing something very specific, I feel like. It's kind of hard to tweak compared to just painting the color you want in. But of course, there are times where you're not sure what the color is. And then you will be playing around with the adjustments and this and that quite a bit more. It's just that I feel like that stage should be done in the beginning of the render, not at the end. That's not to say you can't do it at the end, right? It's just that, like, technically, like logically, the process-wise, the smoothest process demand that it should be done first, which is what I'm trying to aim for. Oh right, I want to do that thing. I forgot. Actually, where is this bugger in? I don't know where her proportions are. Yeah, okay, no, this is clean. I'm starting to like how clean it looks now. It's just taking some time to sort of slowly arrive at the conclusion, just because I feel like I could do more, but then I realized I couldn't. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine too. Compromise. Yeah, Fiwa is not measurable, for sure, 100% sure. Just like the other stuff that I've talked about, like my practice isn't always very rigid and steeped in sort of structure. As much as it might seem like the case, like I always talk about ideas and ideals and structure and planning and this and that. At the end of the day, most of my experience just come from the grind and the iterations. I don't have a fixed way of drawing faces because I just wait for what feels good. I don't have a fixed way of doing lines or the anatomy, the sizing and this and that. That's why for me, I need a lot of time to wait and let things distill out. That's why there's this idea of clearing checks. Like Ria's reference herself, you will see that I'm writing stuff like side profile not clear. Because I'm waiting for myself to go through different other pieces, different studies and different ideas, and I'm coming back and I'm looking at this. Okay, does it still look good to me? Like, it says good clear on the proportions on the front view. I still like it right now. So it is a good clear because it cleared my check before and it's still clearing 2 weeks, 1 week after. That's a good clear. That's why there are all these blue notes here, and changes I have to fix. Like, this is an example that didn't clear. At the point when I did it, I thought the face looked fine. Right now, I feel like the eye should be a little bit further away in order to fit this. Arguable, I think, is actually very close already. A lot of these are already very close. Yeah, but I can't help you too much with some of these things because I don't have an answer for myself. Just feel it. Just do more. Just grind it out. Yeah, I like the lines here. It has a lot more quality, with like a personality with thick and thin and thick and thin. This is gonna lose it. Unless I try to. I'm sure I find some solution as long as we keep drawing, as always. The thickness of that relative to... I suppose these are a lot thinner. Is that the reason? Where are my lines? I want to hop off, I also want to try. Why is it so green? Oh, wait, what? No, it's because blue on top of the orange, like the red thing, I guess. Brownish hair. Thinner? I need thinner lines. quite the same as the other one though. Oh, but I can kind of feel a little bit of thickness. It's arguable, honestly. Yeah. Oh, maybe as long as it's variations, I'll be fine with it. You know? Draw older characters by few, as you say, yeah. I would... well, I mean, I don't know how often you practice and this and that. You know what? I'm sure you do fine. Because I feel like the way you're asking these questions give me the vibe that you kind of want to find, like, a more concrete idea, like... Which is nothing wrong with it. I just feel like maybe there is... Yeah, you know what? I think you're fine. It's not like you're coming in every day and this is all you're doing. Yeah, we need this variation here. I need this to be thick. But it's like flat. Oh, because I'm using the wrong brush. Right. Big brain did. Of course, that's why it felt weird. Okay. That's why my brushes were doing weird stuff. So smart. Holy shit, so smart. Sorry, what is my brush tip on this thing? I kind of forgot. Oh, it's not a circle. Because this inherently means there's some bias to the lines, and because of that bias, it looks good. Whereas this is literally a square, and there is none of that bias. So the way the lines come out would be different. But if it's significant enough to have that big of a difference like that, I'm not sure. Yeah, the other option would be to just use this as the line brush. Which would make the most sense. It would preserve everything I like about it. I just have to get rid of the opacity somehow. I have already tried to though. Is that blending on this brush or something? No, it's just 97. Surely it's not that big of a difference, 3%. It's still kind of going through, yeah. You can still see the other one behind it. Why is that the case? Just because of you? What if this is nothing here? It still has that problem. There's no variation on this. Blending mode is normal. Thickness, angle, texture, density, watercolor, it's just not even on. What? Is it you? Somewhere here? Anyone here? Yeah, why does it do that? Oh. It's because of you guys, isn't it? These guys are not opaque? Are these guys not opaque? There's a chance that these guys are not opaque and it's causing this problem that way. Because there's nothing else that is possibly a problem. They're not... Yeah, this is like... We're not doing color mixing, which would do some weird stuff. It's probably just a brush tips. What are these called? Drawing pencil? 1, 2, 3. What is this pose? How do I do this? Oh, I need all materials. Not drawing pencil. They look pretty opaque though. I'm going to rasterize. I'm just checking opacity. Turn that into pixels. I'm going to convert. I cannot convert brightness to opacity. Why not? How about now? Oh, because it was a specific. So now it's already converted. I merge it back with a white thing. And I check the color here. It is pure black though. It is purely completely opaque. I don't know. Funny. Funny brush. So funny. Okay, do engine. Oh, I was doing jump. Yeah, no, sure. I will be hopping off here. It's pretty late. I do have work tomorrow. Tomorrow is more painting and then more of this. Hopefully more progress on this one. I do kind of want that to also go through. Sorry, what construction? Are you talking about the this one? I can't send you the whole thing. That's for sure. The most I can do is just the real one. Because none of the stuff here is set in stone. At least Ria stuff it's already out. That's a separate thing. Do you need the numbers too? Oh, you want to set this out yourself? You want the numbers? Where are my numbers? What layer is it on? Wait, what? Oh right, I forgot. I accidentally merged it as is. Right, so it's just blue like that. How do I move this actually? Do you want it like what, picture? Clip Studio file? What is easiest to use? I don't know. PNG? Oh shit. Is it corrupted? No, it's not corrupted. Okay. Oh wow, it's gonna be kind of huge. Take out the logging. Well, everything in the file is in the file, but as in a file would just mean like as in like empty file like this. Where did I save it? Shit. I think I saved it. I just put it in Discord. Oh my god. Okay, let me crop it. It's huge. It looks like this. I'm gonna crop it a little bit. How do I crop this thing? Oh, right. Change canvas size. And then you can figure out the rest, I'm sure. Save. Save. Yeah, file is in like just an empty file with just that. But a PNG will work too because it does preserve opacity. So that's fine. Pulling. Stream dumps. Oh wow. Discord is doing weird stuff to the preview. What in the world am I looking at? It's the anti-aliasing or something. I hope it doesn't mess it up. I don't think it would, but... Yeah. No, you just need to save it. I think it's just the preview being stupid. Yeah, this is mergeable. That means this is mergeable. That means this is reset. Cool. Send it. 1. Anyways, I think it's probably fine. Yeah, don't you want it without the white background? If not, the lines are... You cannot use the lines, right? Do you want the... If you want the white background, I can give you the white background. I took it out on purpose. Because once you import it into your Clip Studio, it'll just be a normal layer. It'll be a transparent layer with all the lines separated out. Yeah, just put it in. Just put it in. This way you can use the lines. Not that you necessarily wanted to in the first place, but like, it is an option. The proportion on this is not strong enough. Yeah, anyways, if you want to do that, let me know. I'm gonna go to the washroom, and then I'll hop off then. I'll be back in like a minute. Bloop, 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 bloop. Anyways, I don't know if it's good for you. I will hop off here. If it's I mean, I don't understand. Like, I can't imagine why it would not work. But yeah, let me know if it doesn't work for some reason. And then I will hop off here. We'll do this tomorrow. I will want to render some background stuff and add in some weird, funny textures. Yum, yum, yum. And then we'll call it a day, and then we do something else. Oh, I need to make my thumbnail. I'm just gonna use this instead. But yes, anyways. Thank you guys for coming. Have a good night. And then I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.